Hi, Neil. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
All well, thank you. Yes, tell me.
I have been hearing a lot about Snitch, and and it has become like a talk of the town since it's a homegrown brand in menswear. So, what, according to you, has been your biggest unlock in this particular category, and what has been your growth story for Snitch?
I think the biggest unlock is exactly what you mentioned and the conversation that you had, right? I don't know who you had the conversation with. Is it with other peers which are who are men? Then the answer is one become talk of the town, right? And people talking about it also specifically on the fact that it is a brand catering to only menswear. And if you're asking me the question that do men really need that? Yes. All this time, either the focus has been diluted because when a brand comes in, then they're catering to all segments, which is men, women, kids, or men and women. I think it's time or it's about time that brands started focusing on men too, because I think the times have changed wherein men have also become very much self-aware. Men want specific options. They want something which is curated specifically for them, right? Somebody who's actually paying that special attention and not diluting it with acha they're making for everyone. So I think that is what we realized, that this is the biggest gap here, and someone who is able to meet or bridge that gap, I think there's a huge potential, huge opportunity. Biggest breakthrough was actually COVID, because that's where the online boom started happening, right? I think that was the epitome wherein everything started for us as well. Not many might know, but Snitch is a purely pandemic baby. It started out of COVID, out of our homes, and we identified that one, the gap is that people are sitting at home, plus they want the convenience of shopping. Brands that prevailed 5 years back were all the legacy brands who were still going to get onto the online spaceship, right? And one, there was no brand back then, and then for us to actually hop on that journey was pretty easy comparatively for than a legacy brand who was already offline, who was strong offline. So I think that was the biggest breakthrough. Tapping into the market was a lot more easier back then compared to today. Now there are hundreds of brands which are coming up every day, and there is clutter in the market, and they are also targeting or catering to specific needs and specific niches.
Got it. And from early days, as you mentioned, that you're a D2C player, and to now that you have opened multiple stores across India. So, what were the turning points that helped Snitch scale as fast as it has been?
I think one, we realize that the product is clothing, right? And it you cannot ever remove the factor that clothing sells on touch and feel. Yes, you're able to build trust, you're able to reach a wider audience across through online. But the importance of offline comes in because when you're catering into an industry such as fashion, people want to try it, people want to actually choose various options, or people also want to understand what is the kind of fabric, how does it fit on them, how do they look, and make better choices for themselves, right? I think turning point was when we started off our first store. In fact, the kind of response that we actually got, and we started off in Bangalore itself because that's our territory. The kind of response that we got there was very overwhelming, wherein that gave us trust and that gave us that belief that, you know what, offline is not dead as countered back then, that okay, offline is dead, because that was, I think, a brief period during COVID and everything is online. Yes, online is strong, but offline is also strong, and when these two forces come together, I think it just amplifies the effect over there. So I think we are about 75 stores strong today, and catering to different parts of the region where there are so many places wherein online is still not trusted because of various factors or due to the distance, probably the northeast or the west, right? And making presence there, making the brand prevail over there is a very pivotal journey for us.
Absolutely. And we have seen that you don't opt for traditional agencies. We have seen that you work with new age agencies like VTTT Media or other agencies as such. So, how do these agencies align to your value? How does it align to Snitch's objectives and help you stay ahead of the market?
I think, see, our core DNA has been speed and has been pivot, right? That's the word that we use and abuse within our organization as well. Because when you know that something's not working, I think make that change fast. the kind of agencies or the kind of people that we also associate and work with are who believe the same ethos, or the same DNA runs in themselves, right? So speed is of most critical importance. Somebody who is able to think on their feet, is able to spot trends, what's trending, and not take the traditional method or the legacy method of how a brand needs to be built. Today, I think there is no definitive way in which a brand needs to be built. It's always that you're supposed to be breaking or creating new benchmarks, do things which are out of the box. That's what is creating a mind space or a mind share in people's mind. If you're able to do that consistently, I think these are the kind of agencies that we associate with, who can come up with breakthrough ideas, who can come up with things that are not never been done before. So that is how we resonate with agencies like that.
Absolutely. And in terms of media spends, how do you currently balance between TV, digital, print, and which is the strongest medium in terms of ROI that you have?
See, currently, again, the strongest medium is digital. When I say digital, again, it is your social media platform, because that's where our consumers are. That's the first point of discovery also for us. We have not explored into TV yet. Currently, it's one, we think that TV is no longer the best source of advertisement for us, because that's not where our audience is. I don't think a 22-year-old, 25-year-old is watching TV, or at least the traditional methods of television. Yes, they are mostly on OTT platforms or connected TVs. That is where we are spending our dollars on. Uh, However, the most time consumed is on their handheld devices and on experiences. So I think our marketing spends are also divided between digital platforms and on experiences that are curated specifically for them, where they are actually experiencing certain things which resonate with them. Probably, be it a lack of a better example, be it a matcha party, or it's a run club, or any of those events, right? Which are not directly related to the product that you're selling, but the kind of brand that you want to be. So that is where we are spending our dollars.
Absolutely. And with festive season round the corner, I mean, Ganesh Chaturthi is starting now. So, what is Snitch's plan for this year's festive season? Any new collection, any new promotional activities, anything that the festive is demanding?
I think a lot of it and all of it comes together, that creates that impact, right? One, yes, there are specifically curated collections for this particular festive season. When I say that, it's not that we're going to be doing ethnic wear or any of that sort, but how are you infusing modern or the ethos of the brand into something that's festive, into something that's celebratory and still prevalent. I'm not going to be making kurtas or anything of that sort, but how am I going to be making a festive season more stylish for the consumer, right? So there are very well curated collections that are in the pipeline and should be launching in September, right in time for the festive period. That is one. In terms of marketing and in terms of where we are going to be spending our dollars, there are a lot of activations that we are partaking in. Specifically during this festive season, there are a lot of areas. Probably, I don't know if you're familiar with Bangalore, something on the lines of what we've done at Brigade Road, where we've lit up the entire street. We are doing a lot more of similar experiences across other cities also, be it a Bombay, be it a Kolkata, and be it a Delhi. So investing a lot more experiential marketing rather than just rather than just digital media and videos. So that is where we'll be innovating.
Absolutely. And how are you preparing for operationally in terms of the last mile delivery or the last minute delivery to ride this festive demand?
I think we're doing exceptionally well. What we're doing also to keep up with the demand is we're launching our same day delivery feature, or not even a same day, quick commerce delivery feature, which is called Snitch Quick, which offers styles in about 70 to 90 minutes. So that is something that we are gearing up for, and we are going to launch it for the festive season, wherein you don't have to wait for 48 hours, but a lot of select pin codes and select cities will be able to get their fashion delivered to them in about 70 minutes.
And what are your expectations from this year's festive season as compared to the last year's festive season? What is the kind of demand or growth that you observed last year and you expect it to grow this year?
I think festive season is very promising and is very demanding at the same time. You have to keep up to that. It's going to be much better than last year, because you're already seeing the kind of mood that the people are in. Uh, it only grows year on year unless there are any other pandemics or anything of that sort that's coming in. But I think the mindset of the people are is to invest in themselves, is to invest in experiences. When I say experiences, to travel, to do a lot more things. There are a lot more social gatherings that are happening, a lot more events that are happening for which people are actually investing in clothes or changing their wardrobes. So I think the momentum is very high. It's just that we as brands need to keep up to that and cater to the demand. I'm sure we will be seeing a good surge in our volumes in terms of, one is the customers, in terms of the search, in terms of revenue also, which will be much, much higher than what we saw last year.
And for Snitch, what is the next phase of growth looking like? I mean, is there an expansion within India or globally that we will be seeing in the upcoming months?
I think very soon you'll be finding us in UAE markets. That's something that we've already initiated, and we are also venturing. UAE is on the cards for us, and we'll be launching soon over there. So that's the most exciting part of this year for us.
Absolutely. And how have you seen the male shopping trends evolve? How has the consumer behavior changed in the past couple of years? What is the kind of evolution that you have observed? Have Do you think that the men have also become, as we were just discussing and joking in the office as well? Do you think that they are more trend conscious and experimental as over the years that it has been?
I think they've become more experimental. They have become more self-aware. They want to actually create a lasting impression. They've realized the value of dressing and what it can boost, what's the kind of boost that it can give to their confidence, right? And we want to be an enabler or an empowerer of that. It's always been there. It's just that, like I said, there were brands that were diluted, but now when men find it's like it's a safe haven for them, right? You know what, this is specifically for me and curated for me. So I think men are finding value in it. Men are actually going all out in terms of making sure that they are dressed well, they are seen well, they are brought back work from office, and there is no. I think a lot of companies have removed the hybrid culture. Some might still have it, but people want to come to office, want to meet people, want to actually be engaging with a lot of people. So I think the momentum is very high. People are spending, people are investing in their wardrobe, and it's not limited to clothing specifically. It's as a lifestyle in itself. From grooming, how you see how the grooming industry has grown, right? It's for a specific reason. People want to look good, people want to feel good.
Absolutely. And finally, coming to my last question, what is that one big moonshot that you're chasing for Snitch in the over next years?
Next few years, I think the target for this year has been 100 stores. The next year, what we are chasing is 300 stores. So we are doubling the kind of reach that we will be able to cater to. So I think that's the biggest lever and driver of growth for us. So I think 300 stores by next year financial year end. That's the biggest moonshot for us.
And lastly, if you would like to share a message to the youngsters or the people who actually wear Snitch throughout, one message for them, your
I
consumers.
think, thank you. The brand is not ours but theirs. It is because of them that we exist. And thank you for making us who we are today. Thank you for powering our journey and making us believe and making us giving us fuel to be sure that what we're doing is right. So I think it's a big shout out to every Snitch owner. Basically, every piece of garment that you own is basically owning a part of Snitch. So thank you for having us in your wardrobes and in your lives. I'm sure we are making an impact. And yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Chetan, for sharing your time with us.